Hi there, and welcome back to Stubbs Aquatics. This episode, well, it's everything about, well, Stubbs Shubunkin world. I'll take you through all my stock. If you like these fish, and these guys, you're just going to love this show. So make sure you stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like button and think about subscribing. Well, let's get to it. Well, if you don't already know by now, I love shubunkins. And well, the history of shubunkins, well, they haven't been around that long. About 100 years. They started out in London in the 1920s. And no, I wasn't born yet. Then, went to America, where they have a little bit longer tails. Mine are more based around the American style. And then what someone really smart did in Bristol, England, was combine the American style and the London style to get the most beautiful, that being the Bristol. I don't have any. I keep mainly long-finned and short-finned shubunkins. I really try to emphasize the blues on mine, and I'm trying to bring out some more of the reds. But in order to do all the things I do with my shubunkins, well, you need a lot of room, a lot of tanks, a lot of ponds. As you can see, well, I've got plenty of ponds. I've got two main round ones. They're at least 3 feet deep, 6 feet round, and I keep my males in one and females in another, and sometimes I'll put the odd male in there. I've got breeder ponds, got, well, 3 IBC tanks going, and I also have my fry 55-gallon drums, not to mention the pond I keep over at my mom's. But this episode, we're going to gear more on what I've got inside. As you can see, the pond behind me, it's only 300 gallons, plenty of filtration on it. I've got some submersible filters, plus 4 sponge filters going at all times, plus added oxygen. I try to keep the numbers down here as best as possible, but with the new up-and-coming beauties that I've got going, as you got a quick glimpse of them, well, I need more room. So I'm going to have to move some fish on, sadly. But I think that'll wait for next year. The first thing I noticed when I moved the females in this year is, wow, what growth they put on. And look at the colors. Amazing.
Hi, Sissy. We better get a bigger bucket.
I had great help this year from my other grandson, Walker. Was more than happy to help me move these big girls inside. Not to mention the males. That was a chore bringing them in. Man, were they fast. They too really put on some size. We had a great growing season, but I had to cut it short. These are almost all my adult shubunkins that are brought in. I do have another 30-gallon tank where I house 2 more shubunkins that I'm undecided whether I'm going to keep or not. People often ask me if I sell these. I sell virtually all my shubunkins to Vandermeer's, which is a fish nursery in Ajax, Ontario. These fish tend to live 10 to 15 years of age and can grow up anywhere up to 10 inches to a foot. These are all pretty good size, as you can see here. I do have one Sarasa Comet that I've thrown in the mix just to get a more stronger red. My goal is to have a mix of nice blue, red, and black shubunkins. And obviously, I would love more black and white shubunkins like this one here. These are my current best adult shubunkins, but that'll be changing soon. So let's move into the fish room where I can show you a little bit better than I can tell you. Remember, if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Over the summertime, I cleaned out all these tanks, and there's a lot. And I got this tank for a steal. It's 125 gallon. Got for 75 bucks. Really can't go wrong with that. So up top, I've got some 55, a 40, and down below, I've got two 15s. This is another 55 that I was just able to squeeze in here, and a 30. They're all ready for my shubunkins to come in. And most of those are going to be mid-sized and, well, smaller. Well, let's see what we got. I can't wait to bring them in. These are some of my small ones from last year, and there's a lot to go through. And I really got some great assistance from all you folks that joined me on the live, because we had a lot of, to go through, and a few calls. But most of these, all the calling had been done. Boy, there were some bright colors. Such a hard decision, especially when I had to get them down to just a few. And this is, up close and personal, what we had to get through. Now, I do like my blues and I like my reds, but I really wanted to get some really nice patterns. And, some fish are good now and not so good later, like this poor one here that had a deformed face. Well, rather than culling it, I'm going to keep this one here for a retirement home who's got a pond. They're not going to matter that he's got a, different shaped face. They're just going to appreciate the colors. And this guy here, well, he's not going to win any beauty contest. But being that Halloween is coming up, I figured it was perfect and would be great for my grandson. But there's so many good fish to go through here. A couple of these you should recognize from last year. Like this one here, I did not pick out as being a keeper. It's red and blue and black. It is, well, it's going to be a future gem, I think. And a couple of the other ones you probably saw from last year. I'm debating on a couple whether to keep or not. There's some definite keepers and a couple I'll move on. This female in particular that I'm showing you right now, it's going to be a beautiful one. The red is really coming out. And I've got a couple of these. Nice blue, nice reds, good vintage. But there's just so many fish to go through, and a lot of them are, in the 3-inch range, and they're really hard to tell, which ones to keep, which ones not. I'm looking for bright colors, patterns, good fins, great body shapes. And, you hate to give away, a future fish that, could be, a show quality or great breeders. And, this is a learning experience for everyone, including me, who's been breeding these for over 15 years. Now, I know what most of them will turn out to be, but not always. I've, given some fish away and kind of regretted it. But I usually get a deal when I give fish away to people that I get first crack at the ones that have bred from them. And I got a couple gems that I'll show you later in this video that I got from fish that I had given away, and they're the fry, but not these ones here. The vast majority of these fish will go to Vandermeer's fisheries. I only try to keep about 7 a year. When you're dealing with hundreds of fish, hard to get down to 7. And then after another year, that 7 has to go down to 2 or 3 because I only have so much room. And yeah, I do have several ponds, but they're for broodstock or for raising up potential. So this is what we kept out of all those fish. Yeah. Found one jewel there that I think is going to be a knockout in a couple of years. And some really nice ones with some great patterns, but this one by far. But that's all we kept. And of course the Halloween fish for my son, our grandson Jackson. You'll notice a lot of these have a lot of red to them, where most of my other fish have more blue. I just wanted to go with more red patterns in the next generation to mix in with my blues. And I think we'll get some really nice mix because of that in the future. I didn't go with as many longtails. And as you can see, all these fish here, They're the ones that actually didn't make the cut. Surprisingly, right? So they'll all be sold off. It's always a nervous time for me, but I'm going to pack these guys up and get them shipped off. One last double check to make sure these are the ones I want to keep. Then it's time to pack them up and put the air on them. And yeah, it's hard to believe that's all I kept. Well, now it's time to bring in the fry. I had to clear space, and that's why I had to move everyone on so I could bring in the fry from outside. They're the last fish of all of them to come in, believe it or not. So I needed at least 3 tanks clear for just my fry, if not 4, and I'm going to need more as time goes on. So I emptied the IBC and all my barrels. Man, there was a lot of fry. Already done all the calls, as in taking the wild stock out, taking the majority of the plain white ones, and anyone that I found with a deformity at that young age, they've all been brought in. Been acclimated. The most of them will go into this 90-gallon tank with ample filtration. Look at the colors on some of them already. They're nice and bright, nice and healthy, good finish on these guys. I don't really see any deformities. There's the odd one with a bit of a pug face, but we'll see what happens. They'll probably be removed. What I'm looking for in this group of fry for the future is I really like just a plain black and white if I can. I've got 1 or 2 adults, and well, hoping to find some gems here. There sure is a lot of fry to go through though, right? And there's still a lot more to even look at. But I try to get some really nice colors out of them. And they are young. But look at the bright colors on some of these. And they're not even an inch in size. So it's really hard to tell. That's why I've got them in this 90-gallon with great big filtration. Now, these are the same aged ones. Now, I did end up with some really large fry. In fact, a lot of them were eating their brothers and sisters. It happens in most species, especially any of the carp species. In koi keepers, they call them tobies. There was numerous that, well, you can see the size difference. They're 10 times the size. There's 1 or 2 that are really cool looking. One that's really caught my eye. I'll see if you can guess which one. Well, as you have a look through, I'll see if you can pick out the one. Not any of those. There's one with nice fins, but that's not the one either. There it is. Yeah, it's kind of got a blue and a bit of a gold color to it. I think it's going to be a huge fish. Only time will tell, right? But back to looking at the smaller fry, pardon the pun. There's just so many to go through. And I'll have the whole winter to do that. That's why I wanted ample tanks that I could separate them. Because I'm going to separate them into colors and, well, which ones I want to really keep an eye on. I'll probably move the best, believe it or not, from this 90-gallon into a 50-gallon where I can, well, keep a closer eye on them and give them a little bit higher quality and higher protein food. Even though I give them really good flake, pellet, and, well, shrimp. There's definitely going to be some interesting fish. Now, don't be worried that you see a bunch of them that look white right now. But you see them now with the black that's coming out and the different shades. That one should be a black and white fish. Fingers are crossed on that one. And there's another. Yeah, I've got big hopes for a good crop of those because, I guess they're kind of a popular fish now, they're called panda or opal shubunkins. And there's a high demand. I understand because I have one that I bred on my own. And in fact, all the fish that you see, I've bred from, well, store-bought shubunkins. Nothing fancy. They're from box stores. And I've kept the best traits of all those over the last 15 years. Obviously, I don't have any of the original fish. I only have offspring, and they're probably about the fourth generation that I've kept. And I've only kept the best traits and then moved on. Even box store shubunkins came from good stock at one point. Otherwise, there wouldn't be shubunkins. So, just because they're at the box store doesn't mean that they're not going to be a quality fish somewhere back in their heritage. And that's what I went with. I didn't want to spend hundreds, if not thousands, on some of these fish. I mean, look at that one there in the middle. Look at that red coming out. It's going to be a beautiful fish. There's some great patterns on these guys already. I'm really looking forward to seeing where these guys go. It's just trying to keep them up with quality feed. And these guys here actually were babies, as in born from, their parents were just a year and a bit old. And I kept them off the side because I wanted to see what they look like. Anyways, I kept the best for the last. These are what I would classify as my future broodstock, and maybe even a couple of show quality fish. Like the one that's just to the left now is now off screen, and then this is one no one's seen before. There's two of them. Believe it or not, those are offspring of fish that I'd given away. And like I said, I kept the deal, or they kept the deal, that I got the first picks of any fry that were born. And they all came from my stock, so I know they were mine. And look at the reds and the blues and blacks on that. They are just awesome. They almost look like twins. I'm really happy with the quality of these fish. They're just amazing. Now you know how easy it is to give away potential show quality fish. Well, the parents weren't show quality, but the offspring, well, they sure are. That's why I said, you never know what you get when you buy something from a box store. Maybe it did come from high quality. People will often ask, what do I feed my adult shubunkins? Well, they get a mix of quality goldfish food, that being pellets, and they also get a lot of koi food. Now, I know koi food's a little bit higher in protein, but I try to offset it with some good fresh vegetables. Look at the coloring on these guys. I know that they were given good quality feed. I also try to give them a little bit of live food in the springtime and throughout the summer when I get, digging through the garden and I get to find some grubs or worms. Well, they get them. They also get some brine shrimp. Again, I can't stress enough how much I'm looking for, patterns and everything else. And I'm giving them a quick feed right now. Feed is expensive, especially if you're going to feed them high quality. That's why you have to keep the numbers down. Well, now you've seen pretty much my Shubunkin operation. I still have one or two more tanks, but well, they're for a future upcoming video. Aren't there some beauties there? And I really want to thank everyone who helped out in the live program there where we picked all these beauties. That was a lot of work and a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. But now I've got all these fry, and we're going to have to do something similar. Whether I do a premiere on that or I do another live, I'm going to let you guys make that decision. I really want to thank everyone who stuck around for this full video. Again, this has been everything about Shubunkin Goldfish. And I'm going to let you in on this little secret. I'm hoping to add another goldfish line soon. But that's another topic altogether. Anyways, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Think about subscribing. and hit that notification bell. If you really liked it and you like your Shubunkin goldfish as much as me and any other goldfish and comets and sarasa, well, you think about joining Stubbs Club for as little as 99 cents a month. Well, we'll see you real soon. Thanks again, and remember, keep on keeping on. Bye for now.